Welcome back to What She Said Sports, everybody. All right, it is game day. All right, so Jimmy Horn Jr. playing in the Panthers final preseason game. So welcome or welcome back. We're live on Twitch, X, and YouTube simultaneously, so you can catch us on either platform if y'all have to move around. There are expectations for this game. So first and foremost, welcome to What She Said Sports Lounge, because that's what we call game day. Well, we get together and we talk about the game, and we just get together and watch the game and talk about it. Now, it looks like it's half sold out. That's the beautiful stadium. It's a really nice stadium. But the expectations for special teams, for the Panthers, is to ball out, right? This is your last opportunity to try to make the team. And special teams haven't been really special yet. Now, luckily, Jimmy Horn Jr. plays wide receiver in the game. But it looks like tonight, they're going to be looking to see what he does on preseason. So my question to you is, does Jimmy Horn, based off what you've seen so far, have anything to show and prove for the Carolina Panthers? Let me know. Welcome. There are 51 of us. Hit the like button on your way in. Thank you. So let's see what y'all are saying. So Pittsburgh has the ball. Kickoff, Justin Sue with Carolina kicking the ball off to Pittsburgh. Now, playing quarterback for Carolina Panthers tonight is the new UFL MVP that Carolina just brought in at the 4th spot on the depth chart. He's supposed to play tonight. His name is Bryce Perkins. I want to see how he does. We won't see Bryce Young at QB or Andy Dalton, but we are expected to see Bryce Perkins, and we talked about him earlier in the week. Hey, that boy, how you doing? How you doing? How you doing? Welcome back. Hey, Freeman, welcome back. Hey, Raising Gracie. You can watch it on. I'm watching it on like a Fubo type app. Let's see if I can Google and see where the game is being shown. How you doing, Elaine? Welcome back. All right, and put the music on. Get the vibe going. We'll be live throughout the game, so you have to drop off. That's fine. We'll be here till the end. This is Jimmy Horn Jr.'s last preseason game, so we locked in. All right, Mason Rudolph running over to the sideline. Let's ball out, Jimmy. Facts. All right. Panthers are on defense, so we just waiting for the ball to change over. Unless y'all know somebody that played for Pittsburgh y'all want to talk about. Welcome, welcome, welcome. All right, so while we're waiting for the Panthers to get on offense, I don't know if y'all heard, but I guess Eric Dickerson, is that his name? Let me make sure I got the right name. I think it was Eric Dickerson that was live on, I guess they listened to an audio of him live on like the Dan Patrick show. And he was sharing that Cleveland was told not to draft Shedeur. Now, remember we talked about the same thing happening to Pittsburgh. And I told y'all how there were two coaches, a coach and GM, only I guess Andrew Berry and Mike Tomlin were told what to do and what not to do in the draft. So Eric Dickerson is coming forward and saying that Cleveland was told not to draft Shedeur. And then we already know, because I had the screenshot, that the same thing happened to Mike Tomlin. So why would they persuade the two black influences on not drafting Shedeur? But see, here's my thing, right? Okay, Pittsburgh running back got it done. Almost got down there till 82 came, or 22. Again, don't know anybody play for Pittsburgh. We just waiting for Carolina. But I'm like, okay, so now that that's out and being discussed, and you know that they were told not to draft him. Remember, Shedeur was locked out of the first round. That's number one. Number two, the owners took him off the board. So that means, and we know Mike Tomlin was going to draft him in the first round. And Mike Tomlin said there were these conversations and we had to listen to these conversations. So that was in the first round that he was locked out of. So they locked him out of the first round by saying nobody had a first round score on him. That's collusion in itself, because even the NFL has Shedeur as a first round projected QB. So after they took him off the board, I don't know when supposedly Cleveland got the phone call, but here's my response to that. Cleveland is the reason we're supposed to draft Shedeur first. They set him up. People like, oh, it's a good thing Cleveland drafted him when they did, because people were told not to draft him because they want to teach him a lesson. Take a listen. I'll set it up so you can listen to it. Pittsburgh is still on offense, so I'll set this up. And we're going to talk about the guy that's visible on the screen. He's a reporter, along with Dan Patrick, who's the host. So let's see. So some of y'all may have heard about this. I think people were bringing it up earlier in the chat. So when I got over to X after the podcast, I saw it. So we're going to share it. Keys to the game. Steve, create takeaways. Now, if y'all don't know, the Panthers been struggling a bit, right? They've been struggling. They have some expectations beyond special teams for coaching as well. And they should, because they just can't seem to get it together. All right, this is it right here. All right, let's see. Let me start it over.
Told other, don't draft him. Do not draft him.
I'll play it twice.
We're going to make an example out of him. And this came from a very good source, And he said that, I won't say who, somebody called the Cleveland Browns and said,
Eric Dickerson, yeah.
Draft
really?
Him. Yep, draft him. Don't do that. Because they weren't going to draft him either. They weren't going to draft him. And I'll tell you this much here, what I heard from someone that's in the NFL, that the NFL told other, don't draft him. Do not draft him. We're gonna make an example out of him. And this came from a very good source. And he said that, I won't say who, somebody called the Cleveland Browns and said, don't do that. Draft
really?
him. Yep, draft him. Don't do that. Because they weren't going to draft him either. They weren't going to draft him.
So here's what that means, right? It means that Mike Tomlin and Andrew Berry, so to speak, because he's the GM, right? Andrew Berry and Mike Tomlin were told. Why Andrew Berry and Mike Tomlin? And understand this, right? Andrew Berry had already pre-draft with Shedeur. So for somebody to go to Andrew Berry in the green room and say, don't draft Shedeur, or a phone call, here's the thing, right? They had already pre-draft with him and pivoted away, supposedly to get Dillon and Flacco. So I can't see somebody going to them and telling them don't draft him, like they don't know that Cleveland pre-draft was Shedeur extensively to be number 2. Andrew Berry and Haslam are the reason why Shedeur didn't go at number 2 overall like he was supposed to. And they made it seem like, well, we have Deshaun Watson, so we can't get you, right? So my thing, all of this is a farce, and it really don't matter. The owners messed up when they took Shedeur off the board. They didn't take Shedeur off the board to teach him a lesson. That's what they said out loud. Just like they said out loud, he was entitled. That was a lie that they told to do what? That was the lie that they told to hide behind their racism. That's all. Coach Prime was a scapegoat. And yes, the program, CU program and players were just collateral damage, right? Why would CU players all of a sudden get drafted like the floodgates open if you just want to teach Shedeur a lesson? That's how you know that's a lie. Just like they said, Shedeur is entitled, so the owner said, take that entitled so-and-so off my board. Also a lie. Yeah, they colluded against him. They locked him out of the first round. The owners took him off the board. And Cleveland waited until he fell far enough because Andrew Berry is documented saying on day 3, a reporter asked him, what do you think? What did you think when you got there on day 3 to work? And Shedeur was on the board. He very casually and nonchalantly said, we'll see how far he falls. They knew he was going to fall. It proves it. And Andrew Berry and Kevin Stefanski, they were all in on it. Haslam, they were in on it. Haslam is an owner. So when the owners took him off the board, Haslam took him off the board. But see, Haslam thought he covered himself back in March around the 31st, saying we took a big swing with Deshaun Watson and missed. But they ran up to CU still pretending. And after they left CU, they dealt away Travis, something they agreed to well before CU's pro date. Something they agreed to around March 30th or March 31st. So when they ran up to CU on April 4th, they were just pretending to still be interested in Shedeur, and then threw Travis into the mix, right? And then what happens on April 11th? They signed Flacco. So they knew they was going to move forward and either get Shedeur late like they did. We'll see how far he falls. Because how could you sit there and say, we pre-draft for him extensively, but you were nonchalant when he was in the 4th round or the 5th round? You was just going to sit there and see how far he falls. Then you exhibit a sense of urgency to trade 2 picks to get him. That meant they were waiting and nobody else was supposed to be interested. Just like nobody is calling about him now. The NFL has screwed itself. That's it. This is not about Coach Prime. The owner should have never took him off the board. It's documented. NFL insiders like the one that you saw on the screen. I'll put him back. Albert Breer. You know, Albert Breer, Ian Rappaport, Adam Schefter. All of these people are insiders that the NFL tells things to. And they are the ones that come out and communicate it to us, right? If you look at the stories that Albert Breer printed about Shedeur during the draft, he was the one that basically was repeating what the New York Giants said. So for him to sit there and look with the look on his face, it's quite amazing to me, which is why he don't look surprised, because he wrote most about what the New York Giants said. So, okay, we supposed to be talking about the game. We're supposed to be talking about the game. The running back Etienne is doing well. He redeeming himself because he didn't have a good game. So, you know, this is all. When we get to halftime, we'll talk about it. We'll talk about it when we get to halftime. But I just wanted to share it with y'all. I want you to keep Albert Breer's name in mind. And remember that before the combine even started, which means they didn't have to invite Shedeur, the NFL didn't want quarterbacks like Shedeur Sanders now, the 2025 draft. Quarterbacks, plural. They didn't want black elite quarterbacks in the NFL draft. This is about 17 to 32. And what Eric Dickerson is coming out and saying is likely true because it also happened to Mike Tomlin. So they just handing off to the running back. I'm looking for Perkins to see if they're going to put him in. Right now, I don't see him. They showing the O-line. So when we get to halftime, we'll kind of dive into it a little bit more about, you know, what Eric Dickerson said, what the NFL messed up. Because if you knew you did not want to get Shedeur Sanders or quarterbacks like Shedeur Sanders now, that kind of quarterback, you shouldn't have drafted him. You took him off the board when they chose to be evil and destructive and collude when they didn't have to. Running back still got the ball again. I don't know if we're going to see Jimmy in this game. Maybe hopefully the special teams or maybe the second half, because they running with the running back. And because they drafted Etienne, I think somewhere high, I guess they're trying to give him an opportunity. All right, let's see who out here on offense. Etienne in the backfield at 23, running back. I don't see Jimmy out there on this one. Quarterback is number 16. So we just waiting for a Jimmy Horn Jr. sighting. So they messed up. Here's the thing. If you know you didn't want quarterbacks like Shedeur Sanders now, and when you understand that this is about black quarterbacks, it should let you see just how evil this whole plot was to defame Shedeur and make him look bad. Talking about they was going to teach him a lesson. Okay, so when you going to stop? Because you still colluding. You're not teaching him a lesson. What lesson did you teach Lamar Jackson? What lesson were you trying to teach Lamar Jackson when you let him sit? What lesson are you trying to teach Spencer Rattler? What lesson are you trying to teach Anthony Richardson by snatching his job from him and giving it to Daniel Jones, who failed 6 years in a row? Who was already on a decline, who was over there with J.J. McCarthy. What lesson are you trying to teach him? What lesson are you trying to teach Cam by not talking about him? Talking about they trying to teach Shedeur a lesson. No, what they trying to do is get off the hook for collusion. And it's not just the NFL, it's also Cleveland. What this does is tell you that the little people running around like they typically do went to Andrew Berry and Mike Tomlin. They weren't trying to teach him no lesson. That's what they want to say out loud. They don't want people to believe that the owners took him off the board after Boomer Esiason said he did. They can't backpedal this because they still doing it in Cleveland. So yeah, Dickerson coming out and saying what he said sheds light on the fact that they were trying to stop 2 black influencers and organizations from drafting Shedeur. That's what it does. Because those are the only 2 teams that got phone calls. Look at the teams that were involved with the plot, New York and the Saints. But see, Cleveland, they talking about Cleveland wasn't going to draft him. Of course not. But nobody talks about how they were pre-drafting with him. I think we might be going to see Jimmy second, y'all. So, racism is expensive. That's all I'm going to say. They messed up. They should have never... They should see that. That's what they be trying to do. They try to they have their cake and eat it too. We don't want you to be the elite quarterback in our league, but we got to draft you so you don't go somewhere else. That's called greed and trying to corner the market. And that's why they're going to get busted. And the crazy part is they still colluding. I think they trying to get Arch Manning to come out next year so that nobody talk about what happened to Shedeur in the draft. A distraction. But like people say, he hadn't even done anything yet. I'm like, because he a Nepo baby. I mean, I like him. He a cool little dude. But let's just call it what it is. Just like Manning is a Nepo baby. Arch Manning is a Nepo baby, right? And Jackson Dart and Tyler Shaw both benefited from their relationships with the Mannings. And those were the 2 quarterbacks put in front of Shedeur. This situation is getting ugly by the day. When you find out who's involved, and when you look at the teams on how they behave and people running around to tell black influential leaders on their respective teams who to draft and who not to draft, yeah, it's racist. Why did you feel the need to tell Andrew Berry? When you say Cleveland, that's who you're talking about. Because Haslam already knew what was going down. Running up to Berry and telling him not to draft Shedeur was basically saying, if you draft him, we gonna fire you. That's exactly why the owner came out and said we took a big swing and missed with Deshaun Watson. That was putting it on Andrew Berry's shoulder. So if you draft Shedeur, we gonna fire you. Same thing with Mike Tomlin. This situation gets ugly by the day. I told you it's really bad. It's really bad. It's bad because it's bad because it proves that a lot of people were in on it. It said Eric Dickerson is a Hall of Famer. He had no reason to lie, but Albert Breer's job is to cover for the NFL. Also, Ryan Clark said that Mike Tomlin wasn't going to draft Shedeur. Sounds like Ryan Clark knew. Remember, everybody got an email. And I know Emmanuel Acho know that Jackson Dart was going before Shedeur. They all knew. Why do you think the media is tiptoeing around this story? Because they know the truth. Look at Albert Breer's face. And I'm not saying Eric Dickerson is lying. I'm saying Eric Dickerson is telling the truth. But what it proves is that Mike Tomlin and Andrew Berry, two Black influential people in that organization with some power to draft who they want to draft, got basically told in front of everybody else, don't draft him. And that was to intimidate them because it's him or your job. That's exactly what it was. It was even documented that we on a commercial break. It was even documented that the coach that drafts Shedeur Sanders would get fired or something like that. You could document, you could Google it. It's out there. Hold on, y'all. I have to put y'all on mute for a second. I am back. Okay. So, yeah, I don't believe 3 points by Carolina. So, let's see. Pittsburgh still has the ball because Carolina scored 3 points. So, we still waited. Okay. So, I believe Eric Dickerson. I believe it because that's exactly what Mike Tomlin said happened. Mike Tomlin said there were these phone calls and we had to listen to these phone calls. And the other guy was still there. So, we went with the other guy. So, basically, in the first round, it seems that Berry and Tomlin were told not to draft Shedeur. But understand this. When I say they locked Shedeur out of the first round, no team gave him a first round grade. Even though every other scout, including the NFL, had him a first round projection. And there's a screenshot that exists, I think. It says, it's a good thing Shedeur did not come to Green Bay because he was locked out of the first round. I think they were mad because he didn't even come to Green Bay. They wanted him to be embarrassed like Lamar Jackson. Right about 2-3 weeks before the draft, there was one of these big box networks basically were having a show talking about the draft. And the guy on the end to the left said, they were talking about Lamar Jackson. And they said, who interviewed him? Because they were talking about him at the draft, sitting there looking, dejected for I don't know how long, the whole first round. And he said, Deion Sanders was interviewing him, and the guy on the end said, they were going to try to do Shedeur like they did Lamar Jackson. And Cleveland's job in the process was to lure Shedeur in to make him believe he was going to be a first-round pick so that he would go to Green Bay. What did Travis say? I'm going to Green Bay because if I'm going to be a first-round pick, I want to be there. So they lied to Shedeur and made him believe they were interested in him, because what you can't justify right now is pre-drafting with him up until 4/4/2025. And 20 days later, you say he's not good. His skill set is outdated. No, see, you don't get to interview somebody for a job, right? And then at the last minute, you pivot from them. And then you hire them for $40 million less. No, you don't get to do. That's how you devalue people. You don't get to do that. And that's what Cleveland is doing. Oh, well, he's a value pick. Was he a value pick when you drafted him? When you were pre-drafted with him? They never talk about his pre-draft process because they know you're going to make the connection. And it's going to look like they set him up knowing they were going to get him late for less. So it's a lot of things that people are saying, right? But one thing they're not saying, they're not repeating that the owners took him off the board. We're on a commercial break. And they're not admitting that they pre-draft with him anymore. It's documented in their post-draft press conference. So Eric Dickerson is right. He just filling in. This is like a puzzle, and the pieces are just being filled in. And I think it's interesting that only Andrew Berry and Mike Tomlin, who are both black, were told what to do in the draft. It's documented. I shared a screenshot. It says Mike Tomlin was told point blank period to draft Shedeur and make him QB2 behind Aaron Rodgers. At the time, Aaron Rodgers had not even committed to Pittsburgh. And it was Aaron Rodgers that is reported to have said, if you draft Shedeur, you can forget about me. It's a lot of people blocked it. David Carr, it's a lot of people blocked this. The Mannings, it's a lot of people blocked this. The fact that Jackson Dart and Tyler Shaw benefited from their relationship with the Mannings tell you it's a lot of people that blocked Shedeur. This was not about them teaching him a lesson. This is about making sure that 17 to 18 in the draft, 17 to 18 to 32 were white instead of black. And that's exactly what happened. But now you got to try to make it stick in the regular season, and it's failing. Jackson Dart looked like he might get a pass and propped up enough to hold Russ back as the starter. You know that Anthony Richardson had his job snatched from him. And then, you know, Spencer Rattler, that means Tyler Shaw is getting another chance to fail before they name Spencer Rattler the starter. Why? Because instead of Shedeur being 17 or 16, Spencer Rattler will be it. And then if Shedeur get there in Cleveland, he 18. The point is, you did all that for nothing. You exposed yourself for nothing because he's still going to get there. He's still going to get there unless they kick him out the league. And if they do that, they better get ready for a fight. They messed up. They should have never invited him. Oh, that's Bryce Perkins right there. 2025 UFL MVP. 1342 passing yards, 9 touchdowns with the Michigan Panthers. Number 10, Bryce Perkins. That's who I'm waiting to see take the field. He was another player that had family in the NFL. He went undrafted, like I think Shedeur was going to go. They put him on the Rams. They cut him loose. He ended up in the UFL and balled out. He was successful before the NFL, successful after the NFL. Same thing with Vince Young. Oh, man. Number 23 was going to get the ball, but I guess he got a little scared when he saw the guy coming towards him, and he dropped it. That's they running back. So a little short pass. Etienne is struggling. I don't know when they drafted him, but he's struggling. But, you know, it is what it is at this point, right? It's not like they're going to cut him. Yeah, this 17 to 32. And today I shared on X, I posted, you know, the little chart I did with all of the black players on where they are. That's what it's about. They can lie if they want to, but that's what it's about. And if it ever get to court, it's coming out. That's why I said Brian Flores, that case, if it get to that jury trial, if it make it there, the truth coming out. The truth is coming out. All right, so Carolina with 3 points. The score is 3-0. Third down conversion. They're 0-1. Pittsburgh is 0-2. We're hoping to see Jimmy Horn Jr. Let's see. I don't think he's out there. I'm looking at who's lined up. Quarterback steps back, throws it, tries to get it. They trying to work with 23 in this half. So they trying to get 23 all the looks because they drafted him. Let me see where they drafted him. All right, it looks like they drafted Ted McMillan in round 1. This must be a pick. Okay, well, Pittsburgh back on defense, so. Round 2, Nick Scorton. Okay, let's see, Etienne, Princely, Trevor Etienne from Georgia, running back. Round 4, number 111. Yeah, he's not doing too well. He recovered from an ACL surgery to play this season. He looked a little scared a little bit. Maybe that has something to do with the injury. It said he's the younger brother of Jaguars, Travis Etienne Jr. Oh, okay. So he has a brother that plays with Travis Hunter. His name is Trevor Etienne Jr. Okay. So this is Trevor. So Trevor and Travis. And Travis is the older one. Y'all heard me say earlier that Travis Hunter not playing this week, right? He's not playing this week. We're on a commercial break. He's not playing this week. So I guess I'm hoping Will Shepherd gets some looks. Cameron Summer-Craig, hopefully he gets some more looks. Because they're going to make cuts next week, I think. If not, they might make cuts after these games. But definitely by the 29th or the 30th, for sure. I mean, they could actually sign some more people. Because when they signed P.J. Walker, it was after minicamp. Yep, 17-32. Hey, Jay, how you doing? It said, thank you, McHenry. Thank you so much. It's funny how they hyping up Manning when he has done nothing. Right, Nepo baby. He couldn't beat Ewers out. Now all of a sudden he's a Heisman candidate. Right. Nepo baby. It's just people exacting their will, doing what they want to do rather than what's right, what's fair, what's just. That's all it is. And it's the climate that we live in, and they just bold with it. And why they got the green light, that's what they're going to do with it. That's just it. That's just it. That's what they want to do. Now, we're going to see what God does, because we all know it's obvious that Shador is covered. It's obvious that they're going to lose this fight. One way or the other, you're going to lose this fight. Hey, how you doing, Devon? How you doing? Shy Sky. Yep, it's disgusting. It is. And you know what's funny? That's exactly what Mel Kiper Jr. said, because he figured it out. Because I was like, when I listened to Mel Kiper Jr. tell the story about the NFL insider came to him and told him the NFL don't want quarterbacks like Shador Sanders now before the draft. I was looking at him, listening to him, basically trying to figure out, does he not know what is the real deal, or is he pretending? Because how could I know and you not know? And I remember Coach Prime, after Mel Kiper Jr. was having a meltdown, said, "Oh, like stop complaining or something," because I think he knew. But when he said it was disgusting, it's because it's racism. It said, "I believe that Mike Tomlin would love to have Shador." He did. It said the one, he had no power in politics, played on a major role in this, and the organization in the league chose 41-year-old A-Rod, just like they chosen what? 40-year-old Flacco. You see? Do you see the pattern? Look who's being blocked. And on two teams for sure that blocked him. Look who they went with. 2% battery lifers. Yep. And when you look around the league, there are not two white quarterbacks competing against each other for anything. It's only the elite black quarterbacks being forced to compete. All right, Pittsburgh got the ball again. Lord have mercy. It's going to be a rough season. It's sickening. Yep, it is. Hey, Kiel, how you doing? Welcome, welcome, welcome. Aren't your guys playing tomorrow night, or are they playing tonight? The Giants against New England, the Patriots, I think. The Patriots playing at 8 o'clock. Okay. So let's see what they do with Jackson Dart in this game. I don't know the Patriots team to know if they even have a team. Rodgers only went to the Steelers to block Sanders. Yeah, they said he told people, if y'all get him, I'm not coming. I'm like, now why would you say something like that? It was a lot of things happening to block Shador. They weren't trying to teach him a lesson. They know he good. But they know he's so good, they weren't comfortable enough letting him not be in the NFL. They just had to get him and try to destroy him. It's going to backfire. Racism is expensive, bro. It just is. Ask Target. It just is. It said Dickerson had a reason to lie. There's going to be more stories like this to come out. Yeah, and I don't know who said he lied, but I know he's telling the truth. I even said it. They said Andrew Berry was going to get scammed out of his pick, which means they thought he was stupid. I didn't hear nobody say anything else about any other team's GM. Then they told Mike Tomlin to draft Shador and him QB2, which explains why they locked him out of the first round. They don't want Shador to be QB1. They don't even want him to be QB2. They have him so far in the back that he can't get to the front, and Dillon is the wedge. How is it that Pickett hasn't proved anything? Flacco either. Flacco throwing an interception in practice today. I was like, oh, this gonna be interesting Saturday. Not wasting my time watching it, but it's gonna be interesting. The Rams must have to be trash for that game to just go well. The writing is on the wall. Yeah, it is. It is. And you know what? Dickerson not gonna be the only person to come out. Remember, 2,000 people got an email with Shador Sanders' phone number on it and a waiver wire attached, including equipment managers. So that means they want to cut it. Let's see. Because the fight gonna continue. Because why would you cut the best quarterback that came out in the draft? See, they tried to lie and say he wasn't good. So which one is it? Is it you try to teach him a lesson, or is it that he's not good? Because why is he in the 5th round if you tried to teach him a lesson? That's called collusion, sirs. And why is he in the back of the line if he's good and you just wanted to teach him a lesson? So why you still trying to teach him a lesson? And what lesson did you teach all the other black quarterbacks that you did this to? There's no way out. There's no way out. There's none. Because the only thing that's going to happen is people going to keep talking about it. And I don't care if they draft Archie Manning, you still going to talk about it because he's a Nepo baby. And then people going to say, how is it Coach Prime, got trashed for his kids coming in the draft, but it's okay for the third Manning to come through the door. So there's no way out. There's no way out. There's nowhere out at all. Oh, interception. Looked like Carolina got the ball back. Mason Rudolph going to the side. There's no way out. None. It don't matter what they say. Look at what's being proven. And see, more people like Eric Dickerson that know the truth need to speak up. What you scared of? They take your retirement benefits, take them to court. All right, so Carolina got the ball back, y'all. So let's see. Hopefully we see Jimmy. Let's see. Quarterbacks out there. 1st and 10. I don't think I see Jimmy. Handing the ball off to the running back, number 3. I think that's the guy that we just talked about. Yeah. Maybe Jimmy not playing because they saw enough. I mean, that could happen too, right? That could happen too. Ted is on the side with his jersey, his hat, because because they're not playing their starters. So if they're trying to teach Shador a lesson, what they're trying to teach Coach Prime? Because that's who they blame for it, isn't it? They're gonna keep coming up with things that don't justify colluding against Shador Sanders. It doesn't. And when people finally start talking about what Mel Kiper Jr. said, including Mel Kiper Jr., well, y'all said y'all didn't want quarterbacks like Shador Sanders now before the draft. So why did you draft him? That's a valid question. See, it proves that corruption. You didn't want him to go somewhere else, so you figured you would draft him and destroy him. You ain't trying to teach him no lesson. You doing what you always do to black quarterbacks. Draft and destroy. It's a pattern. Start by hitting the like button. Thank you, Devon. He said Shador's draft party was going to be at CU anyway before they changed it to Prime Ranch. They were upset because they wanted the Sanders to come to Green Bay. Right. And the only reason they wanted him to come to Green Bay was to embarrass him. That's the crazy part. That's the only reason they wanted for him to come to Green Bay. They had already planned this. See, this was planned out before the combine. The combine was already set up for them to start defaming him. All of this was just a plot, basically, that a lot of people were involved in to make sure Shador doesn't get to 17. These people do not want 17 of 32 black starting quarterbacks. Look where we are with 15. We could be at 16, but look what they did to Anthony Richardson. They serious. They serious. So much so they're willing to expose themselves. That's the crazy part. They exposing themselves. There's no justifiable reason that a first round pick would be drafted 144. And then you say he's not good. That's obviously a lie. So what really happened? And that's why Eric Dickinson is talking, and somebody else will talk. Nick Vitale said on X, he said Shador should have never been drafted that late. I'm like, well, see, there we go. People talking. That's what I meant by people gonna talk. People are going to talk. Because too many people know what was really going on. And a lot of people keep it a secret. And the Browns choosing to still collude against Shador. Well, you collude at your own risk because everybody knows what's going on. When finally somebody say it out loud, other than myself, it says Jimmy Horn Jr. wide receivers. Okay, maybe he in here. Let's see. All right. I have a feeling we're going to see him in the second half. Maybe with Perkins. Let's see if they keep Bryce Perkins on the roster. They got him at number 4 too. Number 16 don't know what to do. And you can see the disparity. Complete pass to 46, which is a big guy. Look like you can see the disparity and how Shador can't scramble, backwards, and run around. But Joe Burrow can. Same thing with extended plays. Pat Mahomes could do it, but Shador can't. Let it sink in. They're trying to justify that he was in the first round because he was good and he wasn't good and nobody wanted him. So that's why nobody's calling for him because they're keeping up the same lie. Oh, he's definitely good. That has been proven. And he's better than everybody on your roster and you still holding him back and his daddy ain't nowhere near here. So it's not about Coach Prime. Not about Coach Prime. Let's see who make the roster. And at some point, they might be like, we got to cut him because people are not going to stop talking. That's going to be the biggest mistake ever. The biggest mistake ever. Now the advertisers, like, he need to be in the game. I don't give a damn who you start, but we're going to need to see him out there. That's why he's playing in the game. What was Aaron Rodgers' problem? Very good question, Cheryl Ann, because I think he didn't want no competition. Shador's competition. For anybody he behind, the Spencer Rattler deal is pretty much done. Tyler Shaw is terrible. It better be, Willie. It better be, because they trying to do the same thing to Spencer Rattler, who's elite. They trying to prop. I'm like, how many chances is Dylan Gabriel going to get to prove that he failed? How many chances is Tyler Shaw going to get to prove that he failed? Wow, elite QBs like Shador and Spencer Rattler have to be at the back while they get to prove they failed. Daniel Jones, the same thing. Anthony Richardson got to hurry up and get it. But Daniel Jones gets 6 years and Anthony Richardson's job. 6 years to fail. It's these bottom feeder organizations that have a problem with black franchise QBs. Number 3 gets the ball handoff. Looks like 3rd down. They're not really getting nowhere. They don't have an air game. I don't know what they're going to do. I thought they were going to be, the Panthers, I thought they were going to be good. They got to get together and make a product just as strong as the NFL. Coach Prime should do it. The Sanders, they can do it. It should come out. This is stick procedure process. Like a Jim Crow. This is Jim Crow. Even the whole Manning thing, he didn't prove nothing. What does Dylan Gabriel prove? Hell, he failed. I'm like, wait a minute. So you holding a competition so you could try to justify interception. You could try to justify Shador being at the back, but Dylan failed the competition. Pickett didn't show nothing, and neither did Flacco, and they all in front of the guy that succeeded. That's Jim Crow. That is Jim Crow. That's all it is. And it's because of the climate in the country, and they want to let it fly, but they're being met with opposition. And now people are telling the truth about Shador and what really happened in the draft. But let it sink in. He's a 5th round pick, according to Andrew Berry, because his skill set is outdated. According to the NFL, oh, he's not good. Oh, okay. And suddenly he the best. He the best one in the draft class. Right. He was the best one in the draft class before the draft. They chose to collude against him, to be evil, to destroy, to humiliate, and to devalue. They made choices. They got to pay. They got to pay. It said Dan Patrick also admits that Shador was asking too many questions in his interview with the Giants. So they had a problem because he was too confident. It started to unravel. Yeah, and guess what? Here's the thing. Shador could never be good enough for the Giants. You're not going to ever be good enough for the Cleveland Browns or the Saints, because neither one of them in the 1st round have had a black starting quarterback and don't want one. Don't want one. And they fighting it. And when you look at Tyler Shaw and Jackson Dart, knowing that they have a relationship with the Mannings, they were the beneficiaries of that relationship. And when you look at the Manning Passing Academy and you look at the past quarterbacks and where they landed, including Dylan Gabriel, he failed. You see why he's still there. That's why. You see who running things. Not just the Giants and not just the Saints. Yes, Trevor and Travis Etienne are from, Jenny's, Louisiana. Okay, yeah, no, small town. That's a small town. That's where we stop for gas. Before we head towards Baton Rouge, because it's a stretch. So, and then at some point, you're going to go over the Atchafalaya Basin. So we get gas at Jenny's. It's a very small town. Very, very small town. Rumors are Shiloh. Yeah, we know. We heard. Hey, Rich Beater, how you doing? Yeah, unfortunately, we heard. It said, you know, that Manning Passing Academy here in Thibodaux is supposed to be the pipeline. Yeah, it is. It is. That's what I'm saying. All you got to do is look at who attended recently and where they went and who's attending upcoming and where they're projected to go. That's why they go there, because the Mannings have all of the influence. And it's not just the Giants and the Saints, but it benefited Tyler Shaw and Jackson Dart. So now the teams are propping up Jackson Dart and Tyler Shaw, because if they fail, do I really need this academy? Tomorrow night. Okay, I thought they played tonight. Okay. Daniel Jones, Aaron Rodgers, Joe Flacco. Yep. It was a lot of blocking happening. They weren't trying to teach him a lesson. They don't want that young black man to come in here and transcend this league. That's what they don't want. We don't want quarterbacks, plural, like Shador Sanders now in the 2025 draft, 17 to 32. No way around it. And the truth is coming out. And when you look at, they only told black influential people within their organizations, the people who had decision-making ability, what to do. That's how you know. Why you ain't gonna tell somebody else what to do? That means they don't even let them make their own decisions. And what did I tell y'all? Pittsburgh has the ball. Kimberly Martin said it 3 weeks ago on ESPN. She didn't know why Haslam was blaming Barry for Deshaun Watson's contract. That was his doing. Go get me that guy. So they using Andrew Barry to make him look and let him catch the heat, but he choosing that role. He was the one that lured Shedeur Sanders to Cleveland. He know what Cleveland was. That's exactly why Mike Tomlin did not pick Shedeur, because he knew they were going to try to force Shedeur at the end of the depth chart, just like that's happening in Cleveland, and he wanted no parts of it. But Andrew Barry signed up for it, and he didn't just sign up for it. He tried to justify it. Oh, well, his skill set is retro passing QB, like he outdated. It said, I'm looking too well, but they gonna let Russell start. If we go over 4, we'll be really happy. Okay, so y'all just trying to get the 4-0 kill with Russ. Let's see what happened. It said they tried to prop up Mr. Dart so he can get the job. It said, but if we're losing by the middle of the season, he'll be in there. Right. That's like Dylan Gabriel at QB2. I'm like, this gonna be interesting. This gonna be interesting. And again, the obvious part is Shedeur had to prove himself from the moment he stepped foot on their property, and has that he's the best. And yet it doesn't matter. Jim Crow. What the NFL is doing right now, the type of racism is what corporate America used to do that they can't get away with no more. The Giants are scared. They are paying for it now. See, the Giants seem to have more sense than the Browns, meaning they know they propped Jackson Dart up, and they're not going to sit up here and act like they didn't. Instead, they're going to show you he's good and get you excited and get you to come watch. Well, we're going to let Russ go. Because for one, our jobs will be on the line if we put Dart out here and he failed and we know we propped him up. They gave him plays they knew he could execute. Stefanski just went check down. He didn't really think about it. He just, so it'll be interesting to see what they do with Dylan in this game. But also, this is going to be your first time seeing Flacco in a live game setting since Baltimore. And if you're a Cleveland fan and you didn't watch Baltimore since 2023, 13 touchdowns, 8 EIGHT interceptions. Let that sink in. All eyes. That's it. Okay, touchdown, Pittsburgh, touchdown. Yeah, the Panthers, they just not doing too good. 6-3. Mike Tomlin, they trying to get rid of him. Yeah, if they don't win, that's why putting Jackson Dart in is costly. Like Keo said, it's on the screen. The Giants put Giants leadership, maybe because of the fans. I'm assuming, Keo, you can let me know where that came or how that came about. They put their GM and leadership on notice. If they lose, they out. So they not going to put Jackson Dart out there and lose their jobs. They're going to try to straddle it, though. All black QBs. Yeah, they don't want that. They don't want, and they don't even have to be all black, because remember, black quarterbacks don't make up the majority of quarterbacks in general. But they do. They are pushing the majority of the starters, and that's what was supposed to happen in the draft. Notice they didn't talk about it. But for the last 4 years, from 20 to 24, they talked about it. 25 was always the year once they started tracking the trend. And if you ask AI, which is used in statistical analysis, it's going to happen anyway. The only reason it won't is because they're interfering. Yep, Steelers threw an interception. So we on a commercial break. So I guess we're not gonna see. Let's see what the up and coming games are. Let's see. I have a list here. So it said Patriots and Giants today at 8 p.m. Yeah, it said y'all playing today at 8 o'clock. Let me know if that's incorrect. The Eagles are playing the Jets tomorrow at 7:30. The Falcons are playing the Cowboys tomorrow at 8. The Bears playing the Chiefs tomorrow, and the Vikings and the Titans. Cam Ward and the Titans. Cam Ward got into 2 fights. He got into another fight. Him and I guess a receiver or a defensive back. I was like, I wasn't sure what team it was on. I'm like, is he fighting with teammates? So yeah, I think it was a teammate. I don't know if y'all heard about that, but I think it was a teammate. So let's see where our guys are. I'm looking for the Packers. Looking for the Saints play the Broncos. That's gonna be interesting tomorrow. Saturday, not tomorrow. Saturday at 1. Okay, the Ravens play the Commanders. So that's LaJohntay Weston. So LaJohntay had a stellar week 1, and then week 2 was not so good. Kind of like Shiloh. And then week 3, I expect him to ball out. Then the Broncos and the Saints, I'm interested in that game. Trying to see what happens with Spencer Rattler, because they trying to screw him over. Give it Tyler Shaw unlimited chances to get it right. Wow. Spencer Rattler has to wait in the background. Texans and the Lions, and then the Seahawks and the Packers. Okay, so Will Shepherd plays Saturday at 4. And BJ Green and Cameron Stewart-McCraig, minus Travis Hunter, who's out. He played his last preseason game. They play Saturday at 7 o'clock. Then we got the Buccaneers and the Bills. We'll be live for that game. 7:30 on Saturday. We'll be watching Shiloh. Yeah, they're giving a handoff to number 3. So they just kind of black steer. They're just kind of handing it off to the running back. Maybe they're trying to get that right. Wow, that's so pretty. Carolina's stadium in the middle of what looks like downtown with all the big buildings surrounding it. That's a beautiful shot. Lucas Oil, is that the name of their stadium? That's beautiful. It's a baseball stadium sitting empty right across the way, a short walk away. The Cardinals, they play the Raiders. Xavier Weaver, number 23, no, 83. Looked like he was trying to take it, but he got stopped. But it's good. It's a good run. Moore, last name Moore. So on Saturday, we're definitely watching Shiloh. I think 7:30. New Orleans messed up too. Yep. CJ asked who threw the Steelers pick. I didn't know. It said, what lesson are they trying to teach Jalen Milroe? Right. That's what I said. They act like we only see Shador. I'm like, oh no, Y'all got Cam competing, and he the number 1 overall pick. You think you got Milroe on the depth chart because you screwed him in college coming out the SEC. You hate on Jalen Hurts every day. I'm like, this is black quarterbacks. And if Shador was 17, gonna tip that majority, and apparently it's very important that does not happen. So much so that they took Anthony Richardson's job and gave it to Daniel Jones, who has been in the league for 6 years, made over $100 million, and failed miserably. when they had a second, third, and fourth player on the depth chart that they could have put in front of Anthony Richardson if there was a problem. But everybody else, Bo Nix got the struggle. Is Shedeur playing Saturday? Yes, Cheryl. They said he's playing. Until the Giants and other teams come out with footage and proof of Shedeur being unprofessional, they need to add defamation along with collusion. I totally agree. And Daboll should even have a job. But you know why he got one. The same reason why Stefanski got one. Good evening, Don Sember. Yeah, he's going to be the third quarterback in the game unless the game is on a downward slope. Then they're probably going to try to push Shedeur in to get it right side up, like Teddy Bridgewater, and then give it back to Jared Goff, meaning giving it back to turn it over to Dylan Gabriel so he can close out with the win. In other words, they're going to try to put him in a bad situation. The advertisers just want him in the game. They ain't say who had to play first, second, and third. They don't care about that. They just need to see him on the field. Thank y'all for 4,780 subs, almost to 5,000. If you're watching the live stream, hit the subscribe button, please. Again, they giving it to the running back, number 3. So they're not even really using the air game that much. It say, yep, Shedeur playing Saturday, QB3. I wonder if Huntley gonna get in there. Here's what I'm hoping. I'm hoping Huntley makes the team because this is how I see it. Okay, you know you got Flacco, and you on your knees begging that works out. He threw a pick in practice, so that's probably gonna make you feel some type of way. So you hoping that works out. Then there's Dylan. Enough said. And then Shedeur, and Pickett is still out, right? So they're gonna try to save Pickett to close out the season. So if I cut Huntley and Dylan is Dylan, that makes Shedeur and that puts Shedeur behind Pickett. Pickett is out. That puts Shedeur at QB2 behind Flacco. Flacco's interception prone, obviously. 13 touchdowns and 8 interceptions. That's not good. That means Shedeur gonna get to where he actually is supposed to be. And I know this because remember, Cleveland pre-draft with Shedeur playing in his face that they make him their franchise QB at number 2, right? They let everybody know about it. And then they pivoted, right? And that's fine. And now they want to act like he's not good, which is a lie. So that's God making the crooked places straight. He's going to end back up there. They will have to go get somebody off of another team or let Huntley play or Deshaun Watson play. Deshaun Watson, and this is what I find very interesting about Deshaun Watson, okay? They got an approval for an insurance payment, which covers Deshaun Watson injury, which covers his salary, $46 million, I do believe. And he out here showing he could play. If I'm the insurance company, I'm not giving you this money because he good. This is the confusing part. I'm like, okay, and somebody that understands the insurance industry, they be looking for a reason not to pay you money. It don't matter if it's the auto insurance industry, the home insurance, flood insurance, commercial insurance, whatever. They look for a reason not to pay. Sometimes when people have life insurance and they pass on, they go investigate why you died, hoping it's a suicide, so they ain't got to pay you. They try not to pay. I find it very interesting that Deshaun Watson's injury, one commercial break, is covered, right? I find that very interesting. That is covered. They gonna get this money back. They can't use it this year. They could use it next year. But he's out here showing on social media regularly that he good. I don't get it. I find that very interesting. And what it proves is the Cleveland Browns did not take a big swing and miss with Deshaun Watson, like Haslam said. That was the excuse to block Shedeur. So they scapegoated not only Coach Prime in the draft, they also scapegoated Deshaun Watson, who is showing you he can play. At the insurance company, I'm like, I'm not paying this because he's good. So let's see if they're willing to forego $46 million to put him in a game to block Shedeur from QB1. They're going to have to put him out the league first because he gonna get the QB1. Just like he got to Cleveland and they didn't want him because they thought they played him and discarded him, and he ended up there. That's why they were so upset. That's like somebody playing you, luring you somewhere, and then when you get there, you find out it's not what it is, and they think they done with you. And when they show up the next week at work or whatever, you right there. That ain't a good feeling. That's guilt. That's guilt. This is the whole soap opera. We just happy to see Shedeur doing well. See, they didn't expect him. They didn't expect Shedeur. They wanted him to throw a tantrum, ask for a trade, act out. That's what they wanted. That's what they want. They ain't got it yet, and they're not gonna get it. Like he said, having Huntley is a godsend, right? Because Huntley is in the backup role. Everybody on his path holding him up. Got put right there, and Shedeur knows it. That means throughout the rest of his career in NFL, there are going to be people on his path to help him make, which protects him. Yeah. And with Eric Dickerson coming out and telling the truth, what it does is it makes people it makes more and more people look at Cleveland. Carolina got the ball back. Hold on for a second, guys. I'll be right back. So the touchdown almost, so the quarterback tried to run it in. Plummer, he earned it, his keep. Plummer said, y'all gonna keep me on this roster. The Giants must be playing. I see people talking about the game. Right, T. Rose. Right. It's always something to hold back a Black American quarterback. Fact. That's fact. And what they did to Shedeur in the draft is no different than what they've already done. They just take it one step further. Look at Lamar Jackson. You can't even forget about that. I mean, Eric Dickerson and his moms. Oh, you met them on a job years ago. Good people. Oh, okay. I'm trying to make sense. Okay, T. Rose. Clara said they're not going to cut him. Haslam was watching Shedeur practice. Stefanski apologized to Shedeur. What? When he wanted him to start Shedeur after Flacco interception to start Shedeur. Why do you think Stefanski apologized to Shedeur, Clara? I know you're from Cleveland, so are you hoping? Let me know. Yeah, so you're going to have to drop me a link to that. I need to see that. He said they threw at Jalen Milroe to Green Bay. He thought he was going to get picked on the day one of the draft. They even said it on ESPN before the draft. What? Now, one thing I do know is that he had an agent, right? And people kept saying, Shedeur should have had an agent. I'm like, Jalen Milroe had an agent. In fact, he had Jalen Hurts' agent. It didn't help him because they didn't want him either. The NFL does not want quarterbacks, plural, like Shedeur Sanders now. They didn't have to invite none of them, Cam, Shedeur, and Milroe to the draft. There were 13 quarterbacks in the draft. The 3 black quarterbacks were the 1, the 2, and the 3 at the top. So that's what it is. This is holding back black quarterbacks, devaluing black quarterbacks. I'm like, at some point, just don't draft them. But they're not going to do that. They're going to do that too. Because they don't want them to go nowhere else to start their own league. It's crazy. That's how you get busted, though. Extortion. Yeah, why draft black players if you're just going to devalue them? Agreed. It said Gabriel gave up a pick 6 like he was giving away groceries. Oh, it's coming this weekend. I don't know much about the Rams. Anybody a Rams fan that y'all have? What kind of expectations y'all have of who playing in the game? I know they're not playing their starters. How is it a real live game scenario if you don't play your starters? That's why Flacco playing. So he gonna be playing against their 4s, I guess. It's that Spencer ain't on that level though. Yeah, but he better than Tyler Shaw. I'm not saying he's a Shador. He is elite, and he definitely better than Tyler Shaw. Spencer Rattler balled the hell out. He's actually a good quarterback, and it's not a surprise he's also in the 5th round. Very popular round for black quarterbacks. Very popular. Plummer just threw an interception. Oh man. I thought he was getting ready to score. 22 seconds left in second half. I hope we see Jimmy in the back half of the game. Somebody asking, is Shador playing? I'm looking at something totally different. And they like, is Shador playing? That's all people want to know. Is Shador playing in the game? That's all they want to know, and that's all people want to see. Plummer, back into the end zone, touchdown, number 85. Plummer to 85. So Plummer gets to keep his job. So let's see if in the back half of the game, they let, see in this game, the starter, which will be Flacco in Cleveland, didn't play, which is Bryce Young. Plummer played the first half. Let's see if Perkins played the second half. They just put him on the squad. And again, that's putting these players at a disadvantage to me. But maybe if they call in basic packages, it's something they should know. But there's no chemistry. You know, that's like bringing in PJ Walker in Cleveland in 2023. After you cut down to almost the 53 roster, you bring him in. Number 3 hurt. And you bring him in, but he don't know anybody. So that's what's happening to Perkins. He just got there, earlier this week? And now he's supposed to get out here in the second half of the game. And they're going to compare him to Jake, who know everybody on the team. That's what they do with black quarterbacks. They just put them at a disadvantage. Not new. I would say Shador's case is the most extreme. Because he was a first-round pick. But it's also because of what was at stake. 17-32. All right, it's halftime. It's halftime. It's halftime. So suggest the topic. It's halftime. Let's see. So it's halftime. Suggest the topic, y'all. I'm going through the comments. Welcome. There are 274. Like button, please. Welcome to What She Said Sports Lounge, where we are watching the Carolina Panthers and the Pittsburgh Steelers. It is halftime. So since it is halftime, not like we've been not talking through the game, waiting for Jimmy Horn Jr. to come out on offense. We expect to see him in the second half. Suggest Patrick say I'm kind of liking Jackson Dart. Okay. Okay. The Manning family is the Kennedys of the NFL. I totally agree. That's an excellent analogy. Wrench Beater, you get the crown of the day. That is an excellent analogy. And people, I don't think people know that. I mean, I know people on the inside do. But like a lot of newcomers, I don't think they know that. And I mean casuals too, right? Casuals are people who watch every now and then. They might watch one player. They don't watch all the games. They don't know what's going on behind the scenes. They don't watch ESPN or other big shows. They just show up every now and then, but they don't know what's going on. That is the most perfect analogy. The Mannings family are the Kennedys of the NFL. That is complete facts. Complete facts. Complete facts. That you said a mouthful. And you get in with the Kennedys, don't you? So you're gonna get in with them too. And that's what's happening. And to me, that's what the Manning Passing Academy is being used for. That's the level at which they are setting out who's going to come into the draft and where they're going to go. Why would they send Tyler Shaw over there to try to get him together a month ago? It still didn't work, but you know. And that's why they messed it up. You're going to have to get good people. You can't just take anybody. Oh, Stephen A. Smith. Yeah, I don't think that's going to work out. Hey, Devon Smith, but that's sweet. Thank you so much. Udo, how you doing? No competing with the NFL. We just doing it. I don't know. I disagree with that. I do think you can compete. I think Coach Prime could for sure. Shador was invited to the Manning camps, but Coach Prime said Shador didn't want to miss any football practice. Shador only attended Under Armour camps. Okay, Ayaba, thank you. I didn't know that. It says Shador press conference was on. I was laughing I love that kid. Yeah, he was good. He was good. Shador was good at his press conference. It says Sis Flacco is not playing. What happened? What happened to Flacco? He's supposed to be starting the game, right? It said, what if Flacco gets injured Saturday? I just think he's going to eventually. And they know that. That's the crazy part. They know it. So, did they change on who it is that is, they back out there on the field already? Oh, no, these are replays. I'm like, what? That's fast. Okay. Let's see if we can find out. Let's see if things change. Oh, I said it's halftime. I said we would look at the situation again. Oh, let me tell y'all some of the stories. Let me see. 1 second. 1 second. Oh, what's going on in New York? I guess since they playing, I guess we can look at that too. The score is 7-0 in New York. Let's see who scored. Somebody said they like Jackson Dart, so let's see who scored. Jackson Dart, 1 touchdown, 67 yards, 4 of 7. Okay, 4 of 7, 67 yards, 1 touchdown. Cam Scatterboo, 3 carries, 12 yards. And let's see. And understand the NFL has a vested interest in making sure that Jackson Dart look good and Shador don't. Remember what happened in the draft. Shador was supposed to be the second quarterback off the board. Touchdown looked like it went to receiving, 7 yards. So it was a 7-yard touchdown pass. I guess I'll hear about it later. That's what I'm getting. Because the quarterback, it looks like the receiver he threw it to, Greg. I can't see his last name. Goltich. Only has 7 yards. So it looked like he threw a short pass and a touchdown. And he has 67 yards. So they made it down the field. Okay. All right. We'll see. I need to see what Dart gonna do in a real game. That's really where it's gonna happen, because if he's not taking any pressure in the preseason, they know why. Because that's where he panics. I don't doubt he can get a pass across the middle. I don't doubt he can get a 1-yard touchdown. But what's gonna happen when the game get fast against first stringers and the pressure comes? That's where Tyler Shaw is struggling, and that's where Jackson Dart struggled also in college. So let's see what happens. So that's that. Hey, Mike G, how you doing? Stefanski already said yesterday that Flacco is not playing Saturday. Oh, okay. I thought they said Flacco was playing Saturday. Hold on. Let me look at Daniel Oyefuse, because I posted something he said earlier. Hold on. I think it said Dillon is the backup for the game, and Flacco started and Shador is playing. Let me get the post. Like I said, things could have changed, but that's what was said. Let's see. It said new wide receiver Isaiah Bond will also play in Saturday's preseason finale, per Kevin Stefanski. Asked about Kenny Pickett not playing Saturday, Stefanski said it's for his health reasons with his hamstring. It said, barring any setback, Browns rookie quarterback Shador Sanders will play in Saturday's preseason finale. Joe Flacco will start, and Kevin Stefanski said rookie Dillon Gabriel will be the backup. So Shador is the QB3, Dillon is the QB2, and Flacco is the starter in Saturday's game, Isaiah. So yeah, he is playing, unless it just changed after practice today. It said, just remember, T Rose, yep, that's facts. 17-32. It says, Sugar Creek says, so the Browns are the rain catch for the NFL. Right. That's what people said. And I say they also experimental. They are like a dumpster and experimental. Okay, that means they are the killing floor for the NFL, right? Right. Maybe it was a price for getting the expansion team. And they're being rewarded with what? What are they being rewarded with after Deshaun Watson's contract, after Shador Sanders? A new stadium. At the same time, the Philadelphia Eagles, who just won the Super Bowl, are getting a new stadium. I can understand why Philadelphia's getting a new stadium. Hell, they America's team, the new America's team. Cleveland, they've been doing favors. So you got it, Sugar Creek. I think Saturday might determine QB2 for the Browns. Dillon would have to blow it up for Shador Sanders to advance. He don't have to advance. I want Dillon to get out there and play. That's what I want. And I don't need Shador out here winning a Super Bowl for $4 million when they owe him $40. And I could see if another team pre-draft with him and they truly did pick him up because nobody else did. But no, they set him up and cut him loose knowing they was going to get him later. They in on this. You heard what Haslam said. He wasn't my pick. So when they were at CU on 4-4, Haslam was there talking about getting Travis and Shador. So nobody really needed to go to the Cleveland Browns and tell them anything. But you see they did. And not anybody else. Just Tomlin and Barry. That means they don't have... That's how I told you. I said there is no way that the way that black people are treated in the NFL in terms of players and employees that are non-players, meaning no black offensive coordinators that work with the quarterback. And you really think they want 17 of 32 black starters? No. And look at the extremes they're going through to stop it. Flacco is playing, Tina. It said we need an expansion team with black owners. It won't be in the NFL unless the courts force them to do it. It could happen. Remedies for lawsuits is that you start one team with black ownership. Facts. That's a remedy. I just think the remedy for a lawsuit in this case is so egregious. It needs to be for the Saints, the Giants, and the Browns to force to sell and go to public ownership like the Green Bay Packers. That's the remedy. That that needs to be put in the lawsuit. Udo said Cam Ward is surly and intense. He talk a lot of. Cam got into a fight with a teammate on defense. He was trash talking to them. Oh, okay. So it was a teammate. That's crazy. Because he got into a fight, I think, in Tampa Bay or somewhere else, and now with his own teammate. That's wild. Please, everybody, go check out the old Jimmy the Greek interview about black head coaches and quarterbacks. It explains everything. I think I looked him up recently. Yeah, he didn't have nice things to say. I hope Shiloh get a pick or interception right. I need him to turn up. Turn up. Just Google it, Tina. You could just Google it. It said Flacco's not playing in the last preseason. Yes, he is. It said he playing. It says he's playing. It says he's QB1 and Dylan is QB2 and Shador will play, which means he might be out there for 2 minutes per the advertisers. No, he's playing. Okay, Kevin Stefanski, while everybody else is sitting their starters, Kevin Stefanski said he's treating this game like a real live scenario with Kenny Pickett hurt. That means in the season, if Kenny Pickett is still hurt, Dylan will be QB2. Nothing Shador has mattered thus far. So let's see. I'm sure they're going to pick some easy stuff for Dylan to look good. What that does is that's them wanting to cement Flacco and Pickett and Dylan as the 1, 2, and the 3. That's what Saturday's game is about. Which is fine because they only paying Shador $4 million. And as y'all have seen, he could get them there. And it proves that they'd rather not get there with a franchise QB. Nobody can justify why he's being held back. Are they still teaching him a lesson? Again, and what's the other lesson for the other black quarterbacks? Remember, the collusion was only supposed to be in the draft, so people thought. That's because they're not paying attention to what's happening in Cleveland. It said that's why they're going to start Russell Wilson. They can't put their eggs in the rookie's basket. Nope. It'll be out the door for both of them. Right. This is my mom. I got to take this. I'm going to put y'all on mute. Uh-oh. Hold on 1 second. Okay, so I don't think she meant to call me. It said, let Dylan Gabriel throw another pick six Saturday. I'm giving him a new nickname. What you gonna call him? Pick six Gabriel? What you gonna call him? What's the nickname, Wrench? Drop it in the chat. It said the Most High uncovering all of this wickedness. And that's what I mean. They've already lost the fight. I'm like, they have already lost the fight. Everything they tried to do to tear down Shador and the draft didn't work. He even had a dream about what was going to take place. This man is in Cleveland where they tried it. And now people are coming around on his path. And it's not just anybody. So they have lost this fight. They have lost this fight. It said, damn, and Jimmy, did he get any passes yet? Nope. It's halftime right now. So Jimmy didn't get any passes in the first half. So we're going to wait till the second half and see if he get out here. Perkins is supposed to play. Plummer did good. Jack Plummer, not related to Jake Plummer. Jack Plummer did good in this game. So his spot is solidified. Let's see if Perkins, who's the UFL MVP, can get out here and ball out and secure the fourth spot on the depth chart. Then it's going to be another quarterback working his way up the depth chart. So all right, let me check the score of the game. New York and England, the Patriots, New England. Let's see. The score is New England has the ball. It's 7-0. New England didn't score. Don't know who they playing with. Both teams, New England and the Giants, are 2-0. Jackson Dart got a 7-yard touchdown. Not to put it in another quarterback. Oh, no, that's somebody else. Hold on. Jackson Dart still playing. He has 75 yards now. He's 5 of 9. Okay. So let's see if he get another touchdown. If it's a short, quick pass. I can see what's going on in the game by looking at the numbers. And the yards. So he's 55% accurate right now. So that means he's going to get another short pass. They're not going to risk it with no deep balls. They're not going to risk that. For one, they want his jersey to go up over Shadour's. They got a lot of work ahead of them. Unless some of them going to get together and use their money. And they want his popularity to take on like Shadour's too. So they want him. What's going on with Shadour, they want for Jackson Dart. And the NFL has a vested interest, especially since the draft, of getting Jackson Dart to look better than Shadour, which is another reason Shadour is being held back. If Shadour go out there and ball out at QB1, and people are already saying based on the Browns and the Panthers game that he shouldn't have been 144, and then Dylan looking like he looked, Shadour should not be behind Dylan. Shadour go out here and ball out at QB1 in this game or the next one, even if it's week 1. Now why didn't you draft Shadour? Why did you draft Jackson Dart above Shadour? So just keep paying attention. Just keep paying attention. And while the media pressures the Giants to start Dart, who they know they propping up, they're going to have to still roll with Russell Wilson like Kiel said, because their jobs are on the line. That needs to be the problem. That needs to be what happened in Cleveland, but they on something else over there. So I posted my 17 to 32 chart that I shared the other night with all of the dots and circles and stuff. And okay, they back, y'all. Let's see. They back. Okay. 14 minutes, 54 seconds. Look like the kick return went well. Bryce Perkins is out there. 5 games, 19 to 34, 55% accuracy, 161 yards, 1 touchdown, 2 interceptions. Let's see what Bryce. Oh, that's when he was with the Rams in 2022. Let's not count that. Let's not count that. Let's see what he does out here with Carolina. I want him to get a spot on the roster. Okay, let's see if Jimmy Horn Jr. is out here. I see somebody at the top of the screen. Bryce, he gave it. Okay, so the first few snaps are going to be off to the running back so he can get comfortable. First one went to the running back who didn't get nowhere. Score is 10-10. Perkins, all right, Perkins, do your thing. I'm rooting for the brother. Jimmy Horn Jr. is on the field. Yay! All right, y'all. Jimmy Horn Jr. is on the field. Okay. All right, we locked in now. We locked in. Jimmy is on the field. Spiritual, more exposed. All right. Handoff. Let's see if they let him get a little comfortable here. Number 88. Okay. Let's see. Carolina Panthers second-year GM's name is Dan Morgan. He was a linebacker for the Panthers 2001 through 2007. Okay. All right. Lining up. I think Jimmy's at the top of the screen. I'm not sure. But that looked like him. 3rd and 6. They need to get a first down. Perkins steps back, runs out of the pocket. Got the first down. Quick pass to number 40 somebody. 6. Okay, he got the first down. He converted. Okay. All right. Let's see what they call for him next. Okay, all right. They back at the line, 1st and 10. They look like they're on the 25. All right, handoff to the running back who got through the middle. Let's go. Another first down. Number 39. Let's go. All right. It's working out. It's working out. Okay. All right. So number 39. Nice handoff. Okay. All right. Let's see. They better keep him because he's balling right now. Let's see. Okay. All right. So now they are. Oh, they were on their own 30. Okay. Now they're 1st and 10 again on their own 45. Yeah. Hand off to the running back who. Oh, no. Fake. Okay. Run pass option. Okay. First down. First down. I think he got it. If not, he's like an inch from it. Another 1st and 10. This is looking good. 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 This looking good for the guy. I read his draft profile. Perkins, I was like, yeah, they. All right, 1st and 10. 1st and 10. 1st and 10. Hand off to the running back who in the middle didn't really get anywhere. That's the kind of ball Cleveland gonna have to play with Dylan. Just hand off to the running back with short passes. Okay, 11 minutes, 42 seconds left. Let's see if we can score on this drive. It'll look good for him if he can score on this drive. Jackson Dart balling. Let's see how he does in real NFL games. Facts. Jackson Dart fits their QB profile. Yep. He will be given every opportunity for exposure and to be propped up. That's facts. I put in the propped up part. That's why I said you're going to have to look at the real season for him. All right. Jimmy Hunt Jr. is on the screen. 6th round pick, number 208, wide receiver out of Colorado. They need to pay for that. The running back been balling. He got hurt. Yep. Number 3. That was Blackshear, wasn't it? No cut, no trade, no sir. Selmo wants to keep Shadua. Perkins in trouble. Perkins in trouble. The ball is loose. Oh well. There it is. There it is. There it is. Ball did come out twice. He got in trouble and didn't seem to know what to do. So number 78 was getting ready to rush him after 73 should have held on to number 78. Dropped the ball, picked it up. It's always an O-lineman. It's always an O-lineman because, I mean, it can't be nobody else. It's always an O-lineman. Always. That's why I be side-eyeing. It's always an O-lineman. It just always is. So he on the sideline now. He did good. Number 98 pat him on the head, told him he did good. I don't know. I think he's pretty good. Oh, well, Pittsburgh got the ball. All right, looks like Jimmy's not playing. Nope, Jimmy was on the field. Jimmy, I think I saw Jimmy on the field, but the Eric Dickerson story is viral on Twitter. I wouldn't be surprised if the NFL try to make Dickerson, make him recant his statement. We're too late now. And I didn't need it anyway, but okay, yeah, it helps. It can't hurt. If they recant it, it's not gonna work. Oh, I gotta. Okay, trying to squeeze in something to eat and break back there. Okay, Pittsburgh still have the ball. Let's see what y'all say in the comments. They're definitely setting up to make Jackson look good. Yeah, I understand that's an agenda. That is definitely an agenda. I mean, look at what's happening in New Orleans. So don't think it's not gonna happen in New York. So yeah, they trying to make him look good. Thank you, Devon. I appreciate it. It said Jimmy's spot is in jeopardy. Don't say that. Why would you say that? Why would his spot be in jeopardy? If his spot was in jeopardy, he would be out there. I mean, they on defense right now, so we just got to see. Pittsburgh still got the ball. They're quietly Jimmy out. Why is he never on the field? He's way too good for him to never be out there. I hope that's not the case. It said Patriots City defensive players. That's my team. Okay, you watching the Patriots? Are y'all playing with your first, second, third, or fourth team with the Patriots? Look like Pittsburgh get ready to run all over Carolina defense. Jimmy was on the field in the last game. They didn't throw to Jimmy but one time. That's what people were saying. They feel like he being misused. Like I said from the beginning, after everybody got drafted, I said, let's see who makes the roster. Hey, I feel like Shador was saying, basically, if he's not there, okay. It wouldn't surprise me. They got to try to find a way to quiet the noise. Corporate America speak is they going to fire you. They going to get rid of you, and they feel like that's what's going to make it go away. So I don't know if they could just get rid of Shador like that. They have tried multiple times, and it still has not happened. Flacco is playing. Yes, Flacco is playing. I agree, Willie, about the Mannings and the Sanders. Yeah. Notice every year Paul Feinbaum keeps trying to link him to the SEC. Yeah, that's what they were saying this week. Oh, Coach Prime got to go to the SEC. No, he don't. Why he got to go to the SEC? They don't have no black coaches for a reason. Why does Coach Prime have to go to the SEC? You know why? Because he's building up the Big 12. He's helping to build up the Big 12. He's getting all of that attention away from the SEC to the Big 12. Look at how many players Coach Prime had drafted in just the last 2 years. When they went 4-8, they had 4 players. They weren't drafted, but they still made it. And 2 remain. I do believe it's 2. And then this year, it was like 15. 15, I think. And 2 went to Canada. I think Chidozie was the only one who didn't get that opportunity. And I don't know why that is. I don't know if something happened. Yeah. So, yep, I agree with you, Willie. I totally agree. It said 2025 snaps, Flacco starting. Yeah. Let's see if they let Isaiah Bond play with Shador. Oh, now that's interesting. Well, you can already suspect he going to be out there with Flacco. He going to be out there with Gabriel and probably not with Shador. And with Shador not having Luke Floria and Dylan's playing with Gage, I think, at practice, they probably trying to move Gage and give Gage to Dylan and give Shador some new people. In fact, Shador was throwing to somebody new. 84? See, chemistry is very important. They know Shador has chemistry with Gage. They knew he had chemistry with Luke. Luke is gone. They might have moved Gage up. I'm getting ready to check the Yeah, I'm gonna check the depth chart and see if they made any moves because they've been quietly cutting people. Oh, okay. New York scored again. Let's see what happened this time. All right. It looks like the score now 14-0. Pittsburgh is on offense, so we can talk about this. It's still in the first quarter with 2 minutes left, and it looks like New York scored again. And this time, Pittsburgh get ready to run all over Carolina. Who scored the second time? Trying to see who got the touchdown on the Giants. Let's see. Jameis Winston. Jameis Winston scored a touchdown. Dart is 6-12. That's 50%. Winston is 1-1. Got a touchdown. 27 yards to. Who was his touchdown to? Did he run it in himself? The kicker got 2 points. The punter got something. I don't know what he got. Jalen Hyatt, a receiver with 38 yards. Okay, I'm gonna have to look at the highlights on the New York. So Jameis Winston is out there too. So they letting Jameis play. So what I think is gonna happen in New York, Russ gonna be the one. They're gonna try to get Dart in there before Russ get to the majority of the games. They're gonna let Dart play with Wilson. And they're gonna they're gonna switch off to Dart and Winston towards the end. Because if Russ played the whole season, he's the starter. And if they have no choice but to let him play because their jobs are on the line, won't he do it? Won't he do it? The New York Giants will have their first black starting quarterback that they tried to avoid by not drafting Shedeur. So that means it's going to happen anyway. So let's see what happens. Remember, when you tell one lie, you got to tell another one. Spiritual says she done had it with the Browns. I totally agree. Pittsburgh just kicked a field goal. It looks like it is good. 13-10. You know the other half of the Kennedys, don't you? The what side? I don't. I really don't. Kiel, it said the Melvin side. I don't. I have to look into that. I do not. So Dart thinks he should do it with the necklace on. Right. The same thing that they hated on Shedeur for, Dart does, including wearing his hat to the back in the combine. I was like, now, is he trolling or is he saying it's not a problem? Shedeur say they friends. He also had a bunch of toll tag violations. They didn't say nothing about that. Speeding through the tolls with no violations. Yeah. But he said they friends. What if Flacco gonna throw 2 picks? I wouldn't be surprised. I wouldn't be surprised. Yep, Shedeur was treated like a first-round pick prior to the draft. He did the draft house video with Dart and right, but then all of a sudden in the draft, he not good. You can't do that. You cannot do that. And that's where they messed up. They let their arrogance get the best of them. And the racism. Yep. It says same with basketball. The Lakers fan rather lose with Luka than win with Perkins. Oh, okay. Then LeBron? Oh, okay, then LeBron. Okay. Shiloh is nice. I think Shiloh's good. It says Shedeur's going to play in the third quarter. Yeah, that's what I think. They treat him like, you know, he's disposable. But let me see them dispose of him. Let's see what happens. It's about to be a lot of bouncing around after the final preseason game. Cuts, trades, you name it. About to get real. Play hard or go home. Right. Right. They already calling Dylan Gabriel Dollar General. See why? See why? He's not good. I'm like, oh, you know, that's crazy, right? Like, they're not good. The grocery man. Oh, that's the nickname. Have you been following Desmond Watson? Who is Desmond Watson? I'm not sure who that is. Dylan's new name is Grocery Man. Oh, okay. That's what his new nickname is. The only drive Dart scored on was because of a 50-yard play. Since then, his receiver dropped everything. He's been getting pressured since the first drive. Like I said, the pressure is a problem for him. Is that how Winston get in? B-Fram, is that how Winston get in? Because of the pressure on Dart? And Winston get in and 1-1 and score a touchdown. They ain't going to want to put Dart third. They ain't going to want to do that. Dylan's name is State Farm Dylan. I can believe it actually watching preseason games. I won't be sitting through any more full games of Panthers or Browns unless I know before. And see you boys playing. Right. But we're going to watch Shiloh game Saturday. I think I want to try to watch LeJontay too. I'm right here in Atlanta, but I still can't get to the Falcons. I have to hear about them. So Colorado trumps the Falcons. And we get ready for our game too. So against Georgia Tech. Spiritual said, salute to you. Voices like yours are needed in the YouTube space. Thank you. And I'm glad y'all like the What She Said Sports Lounge. Carolina got the ball back, y'all. They handed it off to the running back, but let's see if Jimmy is in here. Maybe they saw enough from Jimmy. Yeah. Oh, no, Jimmy's on the field. Along with Perkins. Okay. All right. So they in the huddle. Perkins calling the play. Jimmy is at the top of the screen. He's the wide receiver on the outside at the top of the screen. Then he running across the middle. It's 2nd and 7. Now he running behind the running back and the quarterback back to the other side where he was. And it looked like they done called the timeout. So they called the timeout. It wouldn't surprise me if somebody made a call to the Panthers. Was like, hey, I'm going to need you to ease up on putting Jimmy Horn Jr. out there because you know he's a 6th-round pick. How does it look? It surprised me because he's getting a lot of love on their social media. I was like, you would think that he was their 1st-round draft pick. And now, all of a sudden, okay. So they're trying to make Arch Manning the face of college football this year. Interesting. Thank you, Spiritual Warfare, for the love. Thank you so much. I appreciate the kindness and the support. All right, Perkins, Jimmy Hart Jr. All right, got a few, got a 1st and 10. 1st and 10. Okay. All right, 1st and 10. All right, we locked in. Our guy, Jimmy Horn Jr. caught a pass, got knocked from somebody to the left, but he still got him a few yards. Number 37 from Pittsburgh hit him, got back on up. All right. Jimmy's still at the top of is he still at the top? I think he made the team personally. Hand off to the running back, who didn't really get nowhere. I hate those kind of plays. They're profiling their safety. All right, let's see what's going on with New York. Who's still in? Look like Jameis Winston still in. Jameis Winston is 1 of 1. Dart 6 of 12. Is it halftime? Why nothing's happening? I'm trying to see what's happening. Okay, let's see. They just look like they trying to get all of the wide receivers in the second half. I mean, Jimmy has proven himself. When he catch the ball, he holds on to it. He doesn't drop it. I don't recall him having any drop passes. He's still out there in the huddle. All right. Okay. Lined up. Jimmy is at the bottom of the screen. I don't see him. Let's see. I think he at the bottom. Yep. He at the bottom. Pass came up. 34. Spin. Okay. Flag on the play. Number 34 looked like a running back. So, yeah, they got Jimmy out there with number 34, number 30. What happened? A block in the back. Did Jimmy block somebody? Number 50? I didn't see him by nobody, but then again, I could have missed it. Perkins came off the field. Hudson. All right. Oh, they get ready to punt the ball again? Boy, Carolina can't keep the ball very long. Look like they getting ready to punt the ball to Pittsburgh. Oh, well, that wasn't a good drive. If Jimmy don't make Carolina, Andrew Berry need to pick him up. But first, I guess we need Shador to make the. Oh well, that was it. 2 minutes and 3 seconds left in the third quarter, y'all. 299 like button, please. We are almost done with the third quarter of the Carolina Panthers versus Pittsburgh. We did see Forever Buff, Colorado Buff, Jimmy Horn Jr. get in the game. He's out there with Perkins, the UFL MVP from last year, who just joined the team a few days ago. Juju have 6 years of eligibility. Let Caden Salter start. Try and make the NFL. Oh, good. Let's talk about this while we talking about Colorado. Okay, since we on a commercial break and Pittsburgh got the ball, this is the perfect time to segue to a chart that was put together by DNVR Podcast. It's their projection of who the starters are for offense and defense. We could talk about that while we have time to wait for Jimmy to come back on the field. Let us know your thoughts. Let us know your thoughts. It says, again, this is from the NPR. This is their chart. We just gonna use it as a springboard and see if they came up with some good. Did they leave anybody off? Should anybody else be on here instead of who they came up with? All right. Okay, Jordan Seaton, Xavier Hill. So y'all just take a look at it. I'll be right back. Y'all take a look at it while I'll be right back. I'm going to remove the comments so y'all can see. All right, so take a look at the chart. And it's not halftime anymore, so we'll take that off the screen. Take a look at the chart. See who they suggested or the projected starters on offense and defense. And let me know if they left anybody out. We're going to go over it when I come right back. So, members, I need y'all to hold it down for a second in the comment. All right. I'm putting y'all on mute. I'll be right back. All right, so Pittsburgh still have the ball. So let's take a look and see if y'all had any thoughts on defense and offense. It said I zoomed in on the graphics so I can see it better. Oh, okay. Okay, so you can't really see it? Okay, let's see. All right, let's see if I can make it smaller. Make myself smaller. Hold on one second. Does that make it any larger? I'm not on the screen. Let me know. Hey, Gracie, how you doing? How you doing? So we were talking about the projections that they have for Colorado offense and defense. Okay, let me read it to you. They say y'all can't see it. Let me know if any names are not on here. Jordan Seaton, Xavier Hill, Z, who is that? Somebody first name started with a Z. And then Z Chrysler and L Johnson the third. L Johnson the third. I don't know who that is. L Johnson the third. He might be new. And Z Atkins. So Tyler, Zach Atkins is listed as the tight end on here. And we talked about that, right? Then in the receivers, it's Sincere Brown, Omarion Miller, and Draylon Miller. And running backs, Michael Welch and Declan Taylor. That's number 20. Speedy. And then the quarterback is Caden Salter. So that's who DNVR has on offense. Is there anybody's name that was not called on offense? The receivers they have, that's probably where most people are going to have something to say. Omarion and Sincere. Now, I don't see JoJo. So to not have JoJo on here, what do y'all think as the receivers for CU? We're on a commercial break. Omarion, Draylon, and Sincere Brown are the three receivers they have as the projected starters. What about, I knew Gibson wouldn't start. I knew Farrakhan wouldn't start. Timmons seems to be getting lost in there. What do y'all think about that? Jaheim Oates on defense. Joseph Williams is missing. Okay, there we go. I knew somebody was going to say JoJo. They would think JoJo needs to be on here. Okay, so Udo says JoJo needs to be on here. And let's go to defense. Okay. Again, we on a break. Commercial break. So let's see. Defense. I didn't realize y'all couldn't see it. Okay. Who is that? Hold on 1 second. I'm gonna have to move myself. Hold on 1 second. Okay. The game is back. 15 minutes left. Top of the fourth quarter. Pittsburgh 13 with the ball and Carolina 10. I'm sure if I look at time of possession, Pittsburgh has had the ball the most. Okay, so Adrian, who's that? Arden Walker. Arden Walker is an edge. Quincy Wiggins is an edge. Okay. You know who I thought should be on here too? Keaton Wade. I figured Keaton Wade would be on here. I don't know in place of who. McNeil and Barnes. So that's defense. And then we have the secondary, DJ McKinney, Tyrese Davis. And then for the linebackers, you have Montana. Is it Montavious French? Reginald, is it Reginald Hughes, number 5? And Preston Hodge. Okay. And then you have for safeties, Stoudemire and Tariq Byard. What do y'all think about that? Tariq Byard and Stoudemire for the safeties. Again, we waiting on Carolina to get the ball back. There are 300 of us. Hit the like button, please. Jaheim Oates on defense. So you said Jaheim Oates should be there. What about the safeties? Y'all good with the safeties? Carter Stoudemire and Byard. What about Antonio Branch? Joseph Williams is missing. Yes. I don't know. I feel like, I don't know. Safeties, Byard and Stoudemire. I think I'm okay with the corners. DJ, Preston Hodge, and Tyrese's. I looked at Tyrese's highlights. Yeah, he a dog. So we have Byard and Stoudemire, who one of them replaced Shiloh. Who was the other safety? Cameron Simmel Craig? So Stoudemire replaces Craig and Byard replaces Shiloh. Now remember, the safeties are in the backfield. The defensive line, the edges, and everybody else should be blocking before it gets to the safety. Meaning Carter Stoudemire should not be chasing down anybody from the defensive line. But they should be blocking them before they get to the first down or the end zone. It said they need to release Shedeur. Why they need to release Shedeur? Exposing the truth. So let me know if y'all have any thoughts. We're waiting for Carolina to get the ball back. 13 minutes and 58 seconds. Pittsburgh has the ball. The score is 13-10. We're waiting to see Jimmy Horn Jr. come back out. He didn't get a lot of time, but they weren't on the field very long. They were not on the field very long. All right. So I'm going to take this off the screen just in case y'all have any other comments to make about the projected starters for offense and defense for CU. That's what you were looking at on the screen. All right. Going back to the game. It looks like Pittsburgh is getting ready to kick a field goal. How many yards? They are 4th and 6 at the 40. All right. At the 40. So we got 1 quarter left to see our guy Jimmy Horn Jr. come back out. Again, he didn't get a lot of time because Carolina hasn't had the ball a lot. All right, so now Carolina goes back on offense. Yay! All right, so we get to see Jimmy. Allow him to go to a team who will make good use of his skills. We don't know who that is. Considering all 32 teams colluded against him, the owners, we don't know who that is. We don't know who that is because they all in on it. It's not like he's in Cleveland because nobody wanted him. He's in Cleveland because nobody could get him but Cleveland. Just like Deshaun Watson. Nobody could get him but Cleveland. And finally, the truth has been told that it was not Andrew Berry's pick. It was Haslam's pick. Go get me that guy. That's what was said. No point in making Shedeur a 3-string QB when he's probably better off with another team. But what team would that be? Of course he's better off with another team, but what team can get him? We said Dallas because Jerry Jones is one of the most powerful sports owners in the world, not just the NFL, who could break the circle of collusion. They all colluding against him. So what team would he go to? Is it documented that teams called for Shedeur after the Browns game? Or anybody asked to trade for him? Has that been documented? Commercial break. Waiting for Carolina to come back so I can see Jimmy Horn Jr. come back. Did you hear about Eric Dickerson? Yep, we talked about it in the first half of the game. He said they blackballed him and they called Cleveland to make. He said they called Cleveland to make them draft Shedeur or not draft Shedeur. I thought he said they told Cleveland not to draft Shedeur. Jerry Jones treats his players like, so you might as well let him stay in Cleveland then, right? Because if that's the most powerful sports owner and that's his behavior too, then he can't go nowhere. That's the whole point. Maybe one of the stipulations was not to play him the first year or the second or the third or the fourth. This has happened to so many quarterbacks before Shedeur. What's happening to Shedeur right now, being buried on the depth chart, is not a new tactic used by the NFL. What was different was taking a first-round publicly projected player, even by the NFL itself, and pushing him down to 144. That was different. But burying on the depth chart is not new. It's also happening to Milroe. They called and said, draft him. They said, don't blackball him, draft him. Somebody in upper management of the NFL called Cleveland and told Cleveland not to pass him up, but to draft him. In the 5th round? In the 5th round? Jimmy Hart Jr. with the punt return. And he getting somewhere. He made it to the 30-33. Okay. 1st and 10. Good job, Jimmy Hart Jr. Bryce Young coming out to celebrate Jimmy. Oh, that's so nice. Bryce Young coming out to celebrate Jimmy getting somewhere on the punt return. That's that special teams expectation. Check that box off for Jimmy Hart Jr. on special teams. Good job. Good job. Let me look at their depth chart. All right, so 1st and 10, Perkins is back out there. Jimmy Horn Jr. is also playing receiver. He's at the top of your screen. Yep. Jimmy running. Okay. 39, the running back. I wish they would give this man the opportunity to pass the ball, because these running backs just not getting anywhere. I can't stand these kind of plays. Running back, nowhere. You can't even get 5 yards. So you're going to have to do what? Punt the ball back to Pittsburgh. Let the man throw the ball. If he the MVP in the UFL, then let him throw the ball. Even if it's 5 yards. They let Dylan throw the ball 5 yards. They let Jackson Dart throw the ball 5 yards. Why they won't let him throw the ball 5 yards? Like, all of this passing off to the running back is ridiculous. You wasting your wide receiver's talent. Perkins drops back, short pass to 39. This is what I'm talking about. After they passed him so many times, yes, I do believe that they got a phone call and said to pick him. I absolutely do in the 5th round. I absolutely do. But they could have picked him in the 2nd, the 3rd, and the 4th. They got forced into taking Shedeur, and they forced the NFL itself forced Shedeur to Cleveland. The owners did. Taking him off the board was the worst mistake they could make. Now they constantly forever gonna have to try to justify it. And you can't say he not good, because that's a lie. Perkins drops back in trouble, running. Come on, Perkins. Come on. He gets the okay, Superman. He got the first down. Okay, Superman. He said he wasn't going down right there. He got it. He got the first down. I like him. He's athletic. Again, they won't let him throw the ball. He looked like he was gonna throw it. I don't know if he knew people were breathing down behind his back. He lost the ball in the air, still recovered it, and fell on the ground. So let's see if they got that 1st and 10. Yep, 1st and 10. All right, Perkins, he getting in this groove. You can see it. All right. I think he gonna be on this roster. He need to move up from 4 to 3. All right, hand off to the running back who got a few yards. Not much, got about 5 yards. I need to see a pass in the air. Let the man throw the ball. It said Jameis threw an interception. Uh-oh. It said Dart threw today 12 attempts and 80 yards. Okay. Trump tweeted Haslam. Yes. He tweeted everybody, but yes. And even what he said, while overall, what he said was good. Look at the word he put in quotes. Picked. Jameis still needs to be delivered from pick sixes. Yeah, that's his problem. I don't know why he has such a problem with that. Yep. So yeah, they had to draft him. That's where the sense of urgency came from. What did Barry say on day 3? We gonna see how far he falls. Suddenly he gets a sense of urgency, trades 2 picks in the same round because they got told what to do. And then they were like, just send him to Cleveland. Okay, Perkins, come on, don't let him get you. Don't let him get you. God damn it. You let him get you. You let him get you. Come on, Perkins. I don't blame him. I mean, he just got there this week. But at the same time, he's a good quarterback. They could develop him. Perkins was looking for somebody open. Somebody came up the middle, and he was pressured. Oh, man. 4th down. There he out the game again. That's what happened when you draft somebody on the Monday and they in the game on a Friday. Yeah, something gonna happen. But Huntley doing good. Huntley's actually doing good for somebody that showed up right before the Panthers game. So let's see if he plays. I want Huntley to make the roster. But it's probably gonna have to come at Shadour's expense. It should come at Dylan Gabriel's expense because he proved not to be good. Huntley is better than Dylan Gabriel. Prove me wrong. Huntley's better than Dylan Gabriel. It should be Shador, Flacco, and Huntley. Jameis has had interception problems since college. That's the flaw in his game. So he would definitely be QB3 behind Jackson Dart. That means it's going to be Russell Wilson, Jackson Dart, and Jameis Winston, and Tony DeVito, or whatever his name is. Tony, somebody, DeVito. That's what these last games prove. The lineup. Haslam was at practice yesterday. I wonder why. Because voices allowed. Voices allowed. Huntley should be above Pickett. Facts. Huntley should be above Pickett and Gabriel. I totally agree. I agree with you. I agree that boy. I'm like, Dylan should go and Huntley should move up. Shador is QB1. Flacco should be QB2. But Huntley is QB3. They don't even need Pickett or Dylan. Hell, they got Deshaun over there running around. So, Tommy DeVito, that's his name. Thank you. Spencer Rattler is starting. Oh, he's starting in the game against the Broncos? All right, let's see how it go. Let's see how that go. We're live on Twitch, YouTube, and I think X. Yep, there goes the ball. There goes the ball. It brought down Pittsburgh. All right, well, Tommy DeVito is going to get whacked. Yeah, he been back there 4th string for them for a minute, huh? It says should be Shador, Huntley, and Flacco. Wow, okay. So you say Shador, Huntley, and Flacco. Oh, okay, if we just going to keep it a buck, right? If we just going to keep it a buck. Let me put that on the screen. I totally agree. I said Flacco for veteran experience, but I forgot Huntley's a veteran too. I like it because it's reality. Those guys have proven who they are. Pickett, Flacco and Pickett and Flacco have proven anything. Dillon proved he don't need to be on the team. That Saturday's game is going to be interesting. Giants 14, New England Patriots 3. Did they score off of Jameis' interception? So Jameis is definitely going to be QB3. That means that Dart is going to be QB2, and that gives them the opportunity to manipulate it throughout the season. But again, his biggest weakness is pressure. And if you can see that in a preseason game, look for it to happen in a regular season game. So it seems like God that made the cricket places straight, and Russell Wilson gonna be the guy against. But and they didn't want that. They did not want that. It just in case y'all don't know, the New York Giants were the last NFL team to have a black quarterback. Period. And then since then they've been fighting the starters. So here we go, 2025. It said Jameis was drafted number 1 overall, and he was a Heisman Trophy winner. It said in his freshman year, but interceptions has always been a problem for him. He has accepted his role as a backup QB. True. I agree. I agree. Hey, how you doing? It said, I saw Dillon on the NFL commercial today. Lord have mercy. Commentators. It said these comments is working on my nerves over the Dart. Oh, the commentators? Oh, yeah, because you know what they doing. They hyping it up. Yeah, they hyping it up. Like I said, they have a vested interest to make sure he look better than Shedeur. Because Shedeur should have been drafted after camp. If we keeping it a buck, Shedeur should have been number 1 overall. But the line wasn't going to work. It wouldn't work. Shedeur had to be 17. That's why he in Cleveland right now, because they lied. They pretended they was going to draft him and used Deshaun Watson to scapegoat it. And that's why he right there right now. Yep, Shedeur was the number 1 quarterback coming out of college. So they manipulated it. They didn't want him on the Heisman stage. They didn't want him. And think about it. If Dillon wasn't on the Heisman stage, who would be on the Heisman stage? Drop the names. If it was Shedeur and everybody else, drop the names in the chat who would have been on the Heisman stage if Shedeur had rightfully made it to the Heisman stage. And then you're going to notice something. You'll notice something. Drop the names. You can drop first name, last name, however you want to do it. Drop the names of the players who will be on the Heisman stage with Shedeur. And the other 3. Who are they? Who are they? We're on a commercial break, waiting for the game to come back on. A lot of commercial breaks. Jimmy Horn Jr. Just wait for him to come back out. Okay, let's see. Are we still here? Oh, okay. I think it's thundering outside. Supposedly it's a hurricane. I guess on the coast off of Carolina. Anybody in Carolina? North or south? I'll take either one. But I think it's North Carolina. Pittsburgh still has the ball. I'm going to address the elephant in the room. Who has the power to tell Haslam to draft Shedeur over the league's commissioner? Right. 47. Because that's how Shedeur got drafted. And nobody wants to talk about it. We have talked about it. You must be new to us, Ranch. We appreciate you. We have talked about that. Point blank, period. That's how he got drafted. That's exactly how he got drafted. When people say that Andrew Berry, I'm like, Andrew Berry don't have the power to tell 32 billionaires what to do. But somebody does, and they made their voice heard in the draft. And even the word picked was in quotes, and it shouldn't have been. Almost a touchdown for Pittsburgh. Almost. Lord have mercy. Prime Minister is Shedeur as a kid. I believe that's why they are showing the Browns game from last week again to pump up Dylan, because the ratings dropped without Shedeur playing. And people went outside. Okay, here we go. Miss Pamela said the Heisman stage would have been with Shedeur, Travis, Cam Ward, and Ashton Jeanty. What do Shedeur, Travis, Cam Ward, and Ashton Jeanty have in common? An abundance of melanin. That's why Shedeur was also not on the Heisman stage. That is also why he's being kept to the back of the line in the NFL. And the same person they used on the Heisman stage is the same person they're using on the Browns roster. Do you really think that's a coincidence? No. No. Absolutely not. Yep, Cam, Travis, Shedeur, and Jeanty. There it is. And you know what I said? I was over there trying to figure out. I said, wait a minute. Is this the first time that the entire Heisman stage will be black? Interesting. And you already see they're trying to manipulate next year. Just look at the Mannings Passing Academy and see who on the list to show up. That's what you're going to hear about all season long. It's like they want you to overlook talent for preference. Because it worked this year, so they're going to do it again next year. Commercial break. And see, this is why advertisers got upset. You see all these ads that they paying for, and their guy isn't in the game? Yeah, that's why he in the game. We just don't know where. Okay, we still live on X, 458 views. That's pretty good. I don't typically go live on X, but since I'm engaged on X, I figured I would just go live over there too. Yep. So Eric Dickinson has come out and said number 2 was blackballed by the NFL. It said they warned the Browns to not draft him. Right. They didn't like his personality. So it was not his headsets, nor his, or not knowing plays. And it wasn't his personality either. It's his melanin. And they don't want to be on the hook for that. But I don't see any way out of this other than to give Shedeur his money. So much collusion. And it's still happening in Cleveland. I guess they don't like his personality either. I guess that's why Stefanski said we're more comfortable with Dylan. Interesting. They just keep playing. And it is obvious. It's obvious that guy is holding up Shedeur. It's obvious. I'm like, I don't know who y'all fighting with at this point. It's like we just sitting back at this point, watching guy hold Shedeur, kick the door so Shedeur can get drafted. Keep putting obstacles to make sure Shedeur don't get cut. Because the longer Shedeur is on that roster, the more the truth is going to come out. And they so stuck on stupid, they probably won't even cut him, even though they wanted to. Because why? We want to make him pay. You ain't making him pay for nothing. We just figuring it out what's really going on. The draft was not about Coach Prime. It had nothing to do with the plays that were called. It has everything to do with 17 to 32. Take a holistic view of the league's only black quarterbacks are competing for their job. There are not 2 white quarterbacks competing. There might be tomorrow, but that's not right now. And as we know, training camp is over. It's racism. Jimmy Horn Jr. Flag on the play. Oh. So Jimmy was on a punt return. Let's see what the flag is for. Number 42, holding. So the return. First and 10. All right. All right. PSL pricing, $15 a month. What is $15 a month? It was $21 a month. Now it's $15 a month. PSL. The hell they talking about $15 a month? I know they're not talking about their tickets. PSL pricing vary significantly. Stadium location ranging from a few $100s to tens of thousands of dollars, as seen with the Falcons and the Commanders. PSL pricing for Baltimore Ravens club seats are between $10,000 and $45,000. What? Carolina Panthers personal seat licenses start at $21 a month, which grants the right to purchase season tickets for a specific seat at Bank of America Stadium. Total PSL costs can be paid in 18 months of 48-month interest-free installments, while the PSL is a one-time upfront cost. Season tickets are a separate annual fee that also have payment options. Imagine paying for season tickets over 4 years for one season. Lord. Goodness gracious. All right, let's see who out here. I think I see Perkins on the field, passes it over to number 34. He catches it, complete pass. They got another 1st and 10. I will say this, Perkins is really good with converting to first downs. He should definitely make the roster. Jimmy Horn Jr. is still on the field. So he's getting a lot of more usage tonight as a wide receiver and punt returns. He seems to be the punt return guy for them. So I think he'll be on the team. Genty, Travis, Ward, and Shedeur. Right. That would have been an all-black Heisman stage. Jimmy Horn still on the field. Perkins doing pretty good. 2nd and 9. Let's see what he does here. Let's see if he can extend this drive and get a touchdown. I think what happens is when he backs out the pocket and he's looking for somebody open, that's when he gets pressure, because Pittsburgh actually has pretty good defense. Even if this is their second team. All right, here we go. 2nd and 9. Ball is snapped, handed off to, run pass option with Perkins getting the first thing. And he's slides. Yay! Okay. This dude got a spot. Perkins is the Panther. I don't care what nobody say. If he don't make this team, he better make somebody else's team. But they need somebody, because Andy Dalton is actually, not really good. And he injured his elbow, which is why they supposedly went and get this guy. Okay, come on. All right, so we are 1st and 10. 1st and 10 at the 40. All right, ball is snapped, handed off to the running back, who makes it almost to the 50. Okay, second down, and that's look like 2nd and 5 or 2nd and 1. Okay, 2 minutes 54. They just get warmed up. This unit is just getting warmed up, and the game almost over, y'all. It said, did you see text from CU reporter Matt Smith, I think that's his name, saying during the showcase Stefanski was only watching Travis, said he had no interest in 12? Not surprised. Because when they decided to give away that pick, Stefanski was already on the Gable quietly. But they were still pretending to be interested in Shedeur. And Haslam was down there too. Matter of fact, Cabot was on the field. She said, they're going to have a tough decision, when it comes to Shedeur and Travis. So that's why they went down there. Genty and Ward. Yep. Shedeur, Cam, Genty, and Ward. Yep. That's it. Nope. You're right. Yep. That's it. Transforming Eagle. All chocolate melanated Heisman stage. So just like Dylan blocked that, is used to block that. What is Dylan used to block Shador from? QB2, which is eventually just QB1 when you look at the competition. Same thing, chocolate. Yup. Commercial break again. All right. Commercial break again. All right, y'all. So Jimmy Horn Jr. is doing pretty good. Doing pretty good. I'm proud of Perkins doing well. Gets his chance in the NFL. If y'all don't know, he was drafted. Well, he entered the draft in 2022. He also had relatives in the league at two, I think. And they didn't draft him at all. They let him go undrafted. Then he goes to the UFL, becomes the UFL MVP this year. So when Andy Dalton hurt his elbow following the Texas game, they decided to pick up Perkins and make him fourth on the depth string. From what I can see, Jake Plummer and Perkins might need to move up, and Dalton might need to move back. Let's see what happens in Carolina. Commercial break. Let's see what's going on in New York. Oh, 10-14. The lead is starting to slip away. Let's see. It's halftime. The Giants have 14. New England has 10. Team stats. Let's see. Time of possession. Who had the ball the most? Total yard. Giants 188 to the Patriots 126. Passing yards. Giants 122 to Patriots 73. Somebody in the comments said they were a Patriots fan. Who was it? Who was the Patriots fan? Are y'all playing with y'all first team, second team, or third team? Let me know. First team, second team, or third team? Nope, that's right, Uni. That was everybody. The four of them. Shador, Cam, Genty, and Hunter. If you are a Patriots fan and you watching the game with the Giants, are y'all playing with your first team, second team, or third team? It said top 4 black players would have been on the Heisman stage. Right. And was that the first time the Heisman stage would have been all black, Gracie? And Tina, if you in here, I know there's certain people that look things up while we're live. If anybody looks that up, let me know. Would this have been the first year, 2024, would that have been the first year that the Heisman stage would be all black? Now we know blackball and collusion are the same things. And collusion is illegal. Understand it. They said SD will play third. Flacco, Dylan Gabriel, followed by Shador Sanders. Yeah. They're trying to make us watch. Yeah, no, not happening. Not happening. Matter of fact, let me see who play at the same time that they do. Let's see who it is. Let's see. All right, the game is back. Let's see. 1 minute, 54 seconds. Complete pass. They got another 1st and 10. Dude is balling. I'm telling y'all, he is balling. Perkins is getting it done. They definitely got to keep him now. Snap the ball, throws it over. Look like a 10, 11 yard pass, 12 yard pass. Okay, 1 minute, 34 seconds. 1st and 10. Let's get a score here. Ball is snapped. Perkins steps back. Throws to number 80, 1st down. Got it. All right, 1 minute, 24 seconds. This guy is good, and he makes the game exciting. He's good. Hell, he could play for Cleveland, and Dylan could go over there. I like, this is good. This is good. All right, here we go. 1 minute, 24 seconds left. Perkins is doing well. For somebody that is called delayed success. They let him go undrafted. He go balling out. Running back, handoff to the running back. I say just air it out because, y'all only got 1 minute and 18 seconds counting down to get nowhere. I don't know why you would make a run play on the second down when you just got 1st and 10. Air it out so we can score. You got to be aggressive with this thing. You're not going to get nowhere being passive. 2nd and 6. See, that's what I meant. We ain't get nowhere. All right, they on the 30-yard line. 2nd and 6. Air it out. 2nd and 6. Hand it off to the running back to get 6 yards. And he got it. Okay, fine. Whatever. A 10-yard pass would have been fine. So they playing it safe. They playing it safe. So it seems like now that Perkins is warmed up, y'all, it seems like, you know, they getting somewhere. I mean, the man just got there, what, Monday? Tuesday? And he out here balling? Not a surprise. All right, here we go. Ball is snapped, handoff to the running back. And again, he gets nowhere. I just really don't like this. I hate wasting 1st and 10. Like, can you just throw a 10-yard pass? Y'all almost in the red zone. And look what happens. 8, 7, 6, 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. You see? The game over. And we was getting ready to score. Oh, that's that conservative play calling. But he did well. Hopefully the guy stays on the roster. It's a shame if he does not. 19 for Pittsburgh and 10 to the Carolina Panthers. The Panthers fall again. And they could have actually scored. They still would have lost. They still would have lost, but they could have actually scored. Jimmy Horn Jr. did good. He did well. I think he did well. Now, people want proof of what Eric said, but they needed no proof of what Mr. Anonymous lied about. See? I believe it's his influence they're concerned about. It's his melanin. It's his melanin. They want to keep exploiting him for money. Yep. Comfortable equals preference equals prejudice. Facts. This goes beyond the natural. There's real spiritual warfare. There is real spiritual warfare, but people in the natural further it along. So yes, while there is spiritual warfare, the devil uses certain people's lives for toilet paper. And that's what we're seeing. Humans have to carry it out. They make choices to carry it out. It doesn't have to be this way. You could just let the talent do what it does. But that's what they're trying to stop. The talent. That's why preference is the rule of the day now. 3 or 4 gets drafted number 1, but Shedeur gets drafted 144. Right. Did Rodgers play tonight? No. Mason Rudolph started the game. Facts, Devane, facts. And Rodgers is not playing, facts. Personal seat license, thank you. None of the QBs drafted for Shedeur better than him. Right. He should have been on the Heisman stage, and he should have been drafted number 2 overall or number 1 overall. That's really where he was supposed to go. But they manipulated that too. They manipulated a lot to get this done. Thank you, Happy Days. Warned not to draft him. Warned is such a strange word in this context. They act like he's in danger. In some respects, he is. His career definitely is. They're always concerned about the influence. And it's not influence. It's just the leadership. It's really the leadership. That's what it is. They don't want people to turn on the TV and on Sundays, you know, on primetime days, primetime games. They don't want that. And when you look at how hard they've tried to stop black quarterback, you get it. And when you look at a holistic view of what's happening to black quarterbacks right now, you know, Anthony Richardson, hell, Russell Wilson probably going to be a fight for a starter when he's actually better. Just the fact that the GM and head coach's lines are on the job is probably why Russ is going to emerge, you know, as a starter. So, yep. Well, y'all, we're going to get out of here. This was fun. We'll be back on Saturday for Shedeur's game. Let's take a look. For Shiloh's game, excuse me. I want to actually see if we can focus on Shiloh. Shedeur has already proven who he is. Like he said in his press conference, he did the best. He did his best. And if they don't appreciate it, they just don't appreciate it. He can move on and start his own league or move on to Canada. Or I say move on and start your own league, because anybody with 3 million fans can start their own league. That's more than 32 NFL stadiums can hold. at max capacity. So 19-10, that game is over. Giants is still 14-10. Tomorrow is Friday. Let's see if we're gonna be watching the Falcons play the Cowboys tomorrow. That might be interesting at 8 o'clock. Bears and Chiefs. Yeah, I'm not interested in that. Let's see. I'm just trying to see before we get out of here what games are happening tomorrow that might be good. Broncos and the Saints. That's Saturday. Ravens and the Commanders. That's Saturday. So tomorrow it's just the Cowboys and the Falcons. Yeah, I don't know about that, guys. I don't know about that one. And then the Eagles and the Jets. Definitely not watching that. Definitely not watching the Vikings and the Titans and the Bears and the Chiefs. So we might be out on Friday and we might be back on Saturday. Broncos and the Saints play at 1. Definitely watching that. Don't know if I'm gonna watch the whole game, but Saturday night at 7:30 we'll be live for Shiloh, Buccaneers and Bills. Definitely watching that game. The Browns play the Rams Saturday at 1. I'm probably gonna be watching the Broncos and the Saints. And if we live, then we're gonna hear about the other game, but I'm not sure if I'll be live. But I will be live at 7:30 on Saturday for Shiloh's final preseason game, the Bucks versus the Bills. All right, y'all, this was awesome. We're gonna get out of here. Thank y'all so much. Turn your notifications on. We'll be back Saturday. Members, don't forget, tomorrow 6 p.m. Eastern Standard Time, we have members only live stream behind closed doors. I'll see y'all then. This was awesome. Y'all have a good night. Thank you for the support. Thank you for the kind words. Thank you for the encouragement. Thank you for the engagement. Thank you for the follows. Thank you for the subs. Thank you, everybody. Y'all have a good night. Don't forget to hit the like button on your way out. If you didn't, 319 people. And subscribe to the channel. See if y'all can get me to 5,000. We're at 4,700. So hit the subscribe button. Y'all have a good night. I'll see you tomorrow. Thanks for watching What She Said Sport Lounge. What today was game day. Have a good evening.
Thank you for watching What She Said Sports. Be sure to join our daily live stream and listen up to What She Said Sports on the go on Spotify. Thank you for watching What She Said Sports. Stay for another video.